The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers dredged more than 200 million cubic yards of sediment in fiscal year 2018 at a cost of nearly $1.8 billion to maintain America's navigation channels. But in today's world, deciding where and how to place this dredged sediment is usually a greater challenge than the dredging process. Using this sediment to beneficially nourish beaches or wetlands is the most sustainable path, but it may involve added expense, and the sediment's physical characteristics determine its suitability for beneficial application.
Like when using dredged sediment for beach nourishment, we want to minimize the amount of fine-grained sediment such as silts and clays because nobody wants to lay their beach towel on a muddy beach. Or conversely, when doing thin layer placement of dredged sediment on degraded wetlands to combat sea level rise or subsidence, those fine-grained sediments are actually desired to promote vegetation growth. The problem is that most of our navigation channels and dredging projects consist of sediment that is a mixture of both sand and fine-grained material. Past R&D emphasized repurposing the dredged sediment after it is already confined in a confined disposal facility. But experience has shown that the costs can be exorbitant every time you pick up the sediment again to reprocess it and transport it.
The Corps' Engineering with Nature initiative intentionally aligns natural and engineering processes to collaboratively, efficiently, and sustainably deliver economic, environmental, and social benefits associated with water resources infrastructure like navigation channels. Two of the four key elements of EWN are the use of science and engineering to produce operational efficiencies and the use of natural processes to achieve maximum benefit.
The Corps' Engineer Research and Development Center is currently conducting R&D to operationalize a technology that separates sand from mud while it's being transported in a discharge pipeline of an operating hydraulic dredge. This technology is called a sediment distribution pipe, and the way it works is based on those two key engineering with nature elements. It was used in the past to construct levees, where it separated the sand from the silts and clays by hydraulically sorting the sand down through holes that were drilled in the bottom of an elevated pipeline. So as the dredge pumped this partially stratified mixture of sand, mud, and water through its discharge pipeline, when that slurry entered the distribution pipe section, the heavier sand falls out of suspension by the force of gravity and drops down through the holes in the bottom of the pipeline, while the lighter silts and clays remain in suspension, pass over the holes, and continue flowing till they exit out the end of the discharge pipeline.
A proof of concept demonstration of this technology was successfully conducted to nourish a wetland on Sturgeon Island, which is part of the Corps' Philadelphia District 7 Mile Island Innovation Lab, in collaboration with the Wetlands Institute and New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection.
We're covering a larger area, so we're placing the sediment over that larger area instead of having to move the end of the pipe more often. And that gives us two advantages. One, we don't have to shut the dredge down every time we move the pipe, and we get higher efficiencies and lower cost per cubic yard. And two, usually the end of pipe is moved by equipment, and the marsh surface is very susceptible, very sensitive to rutting by equipment traffic. So if we have to move the pipe less, use the equipment less, we're doing less damage to the wetlands.
Going forward, there's great urgency for construction technologies to support our natural coastlines that are both cost-effective and acceptable to resource agencies.
A technology like the sediment distribution pipe can prove to be a very significant advantage to the Corps in collaboration with the American dredging industry to help us achieve our navigation and flood risk management missions more effectively, and while we're maximizing benefits to society and the ecosystem, and that's when we're truly engineering with nature.